So the President's Show, generally the President's Show nails it, but obviously we can't play all of their clips. I thought the one a couple of weeks ago where he hung out with the former Mafia guys was perfect.
We did play that one, though.
We did, no, that's what I'm saying. So we haven't played one since then. And now, somebody was asking me, I was on this really good podcast called The Pineal Express. And they were asking me, like, as separate from, because I've taken, and Sam and I have both taken criticism, and I think, like, finding the right terminology to use when you talk about Trump's mental state is obviously very difficult, and we need to be careful about it. But they were asking me a different question, which is that some people say, like, oh, I don't want to speculate about anything involving what's going on with him mentally or emotionally because that's just armchair speculation. And I was like, guys, like, that's like watching a video of, like, somebody, like, flatlining when they're trying to do, like, a skateboarding trick and sitting there and being like, I don't want to speculate. I mean, I don't want to armchair. I don't know whether that guy completely fell on his face or not. Like, I am aware that I have consistently failed, apparently, in using the right appropriate terminology to describe this, and so I'm going to still refrain. But at the same time, the notion that any human being with basic observational ability, and I'm saying, like, going down to maybe like a first grade level, couldn't look at Donald Trump and be like, that's not normal. There's something wrong with that guy. Does not require. It's the opposite. It's the opposite of armchair projection. Saying that you don't want to comment on it is like armchair blindfolding yourself. And so here on the President's Show, in this, which I think is really, this impression of Trump to me is like, I think this is as close. This is basically Trump. And he finally went to see a psychiatrist.
Okay, sir, here we are.
Wait a minute, where's the sliders?
There are no sliders, sir. We are not at a chain restaurant. We are at a psychologist's office.
No
yes,
way.
sir.
No,
Sorry,
no.
sir,
Mike.
sit down. Listen.
Sit down, Mike. Sit
Okay,
down.
okay. Sir, people are saying you are mentally unfit for the office, and we both know that's not true.
I'm incredibly mentally fit. My doctor said I had the most neurons of any person he had ever met.
I wish I had as
So many neurons.
Oh. You know, you can talk about yourself the entire
Whoa,
time. Yeah.
I can talk about myself.
Yeah, you talk about yourself.
I'm totally sane, and I'm the President of the United States.
Mr. Trump, I feel I need to disclose to you that I'm the founder of an organization called Duty to Warn.
I don't care.
Well, I think you should know that our association advocates your removal under the 25th Amendment because we believe you're not psychologically fit.
Wrong.
Well,
Totally wrong.
you make a lot of grandiose and paranoid-sounding statements like you had the biggest inauguration crowd
Oh, yeah.
and that Barack Obama bugged your offices.
He's spying on everybody.
So here's my question. Do you really believe those things you say?
No. Yes? Did I get it right?
Well, it seems like you have an unusual need for approval.
People must see Trump everywhere because I grew up in Queens and then we went into Manhattan. Everyone else in Manhattan was rich and they went to the parties. They went to Studio 54 and they did coke off of Twiggy's asshole. I didn't get to do any of that. I had to go to Studio 54 and stand on the line. One time I met Andy Warhol and I thought that he was just a sheepskin rug. I was always left out. A doughy boy from Queens with big, juicy, kissy lips.
Well, I'm glad you can own some of that insecurity.
Is it okay that I've been farting in the sofa the whole time?
Well, that's okay. Let's move on.
Well, there you have it. I actually think, as good as that impression is, that might still be a degree of self-awareness too far for the actual
I
Trump.
think a lot of this actually is to do with his childhood and being, raised in that sort of household. Like, I mean, I think
yes,
of like
an emphasis on that sort of household.
I think
look
of
up
that-
look up his dad.
The Aviator too, like even just the extreme wealth, and even if it wasn't that extreme, like being in that sort of, and like I don't know, it's pathologizing.
No, he was a upper end Queens scumbag family. And I mean, fucking just evil landlord shit. That's bad. That's really bad.
If you're ever in New York too, it's definitely worth getting out to Queens and checking out his house, because it's in like a very middle class part of town, except for about 3 streets where his house is on, and there's an entrance that says Jamaica Estates.
Jamaica Estates, exactly. Yeah, and all the like mafia worship. The other one that was funny was the one they did one where Deepak Chopra led him in a meditation exercise, and he went into his subconscious, and his subconscious was just terrifying. It was like, you know, like people like drowning each other in blood, and he sees like this, you know, this like girl, and he's gonna approach her, and then she turns around, and she's like an old like crone, like in that like mythological sense, and she's like, "I'm your age," and he's like, "No, no," and he runs away from her, and then at the end he cries, and he realizes that like the clown with blood and the crone and it's like totally like Jungian. He's like, "We're all the same. We're all the same." And then Deepak takes him out of the meditation. He's like, "Did you learn anything?" And he's like, "Nope." Nope. It's perfect. He's just like, "Nope, not gonna change. Didn't learn anything."
But namaste. Anyway.
Yeah, namaste in a certain sense.
Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos